Happy Saturday, beautiful souls. This is Shamama Hunting Owl with a new message for us for this week. Wow, it's been crazy, you guys. I always want to start by thanking those of you who subscribe, like, and share my videos here on YouTube, as well as the daily card reads on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you. And for those of you who choose to contribute to what I do here for the collective, thank you so much. As well as those who reached out for sessions with me this past week. It's always a pleasure to work with you guys. So, okay guys, today is going to be a little bit of a different kind of a message. And I really want to talk about what the journey is truly about. The coming into ourselves, the finding our happiness, the living from our heart space. You know, this is like lesson number 1 about awakening and coming into ourselves and finding who we really are. And with this comes a period of, which is what I've kind of been seeing in my sessions and kind of what this reading is going to show us today, is that right now, you know, this is about our happiness. This is about our joy, about us feeling fulfilled. And there are some who are on this journey and are not in 3D union with their twins, who are incredibly happy with their lives, feeling very fulfilled, not sitting around necessarily waiting for their twin, but holding space for their twin. So that when that other person, their beloved, is ready, there will be a space for them to step into. But that doesn't mean that they are sitting around waiting. In sadness, in misery, in lack of fulfillment. So the reason I'm bringing this up and wanted to talk about this is because there's the Divine Feminine Collective right now is kind of, I don't know if it's cut in half necessarily, but there are two things going on with the feminine right now. There is one part of the Feminine Collective who are very much happy and fulfilled, even if they are not with their twin in their physical 3D world. Yes, they are going through the ups and downs and the roller coasters of this ride, but it does not mean that they are just sitting around waiting and twiddling their thumbs and living in a place of misery and sadness. There's another part of the Divine Feminine population that is living in this place of sadness and regret and feeling like they're missing out and not feeling fulfilled in their lives right now. And they're hanging that on the fact that they're not with their twin in the 3D, and that when their twin comes in, their world will automatically just fall into place and everything will be perfect. And that may be the case. However, the journey is not about us just sitting around waiting to find our happiness. We are meant to find our happiness on our own, through our own wholeness, and find it within ourselves. So what I want to talk about regarding this is, and this is going to trigger a lot of people, but those of you who are meant to hear this message will hear this message and understand what I'm saying. If you are in a place on your journey where you are happy and living your life and fulfilled, and moving ahead, continue to trust and do what you're doing, okay? However, if you are one of the Divine Feminine population in the collective that are feeling hopeless and sad and discouraged by the journey, like you're missing something because your twin is not in your 3D world, because you're not in union, then I'm going to say follow your bliss, whatever that means for you. And this is going to take it a step further than I've ever really talked about with you guys. And this is the part that's going to trigger some people. Which means if you feel you need another person in your life to feel full, fulfilled, whole, happy, that you need a 3D person there with you, then go find that person. Don't just sit and wait. You know, maybe part of your process and your journey is that you still have things that you need to experience. And that's okay, because there are no mistakes at this point. Our journeys are exactly what we set them to be. So if what you're looking for is to feel feel whole and fulfilled and have that 3D person there, then maybe there's something you still need to experience, to grow from, to learn, and go out and have that other relationship. Because so many of the divine feminine right now, and you'll see this in the cards, are in a place where they want to move on. They're not seeing things materialize in the 3D physical world the way the readings have been showing, and they're discouraged. And they're asking, do I start dating someone else? Is that okay to do? And yes, it's okay if you are doing it from a place of authenticity. If you are doing it from a place where you know that is you following your heart, and that you are feeding your soul in the process. So more power to you. Create the journey that you wish to create for yourself. Make the life you want for you. Those of us in the collective who are in the other extreme, in this place of trust and just holding space and being happy and content, and being good with just doing my life the way I'm doing it, can stay in that place. There is no rule book for this journey, okay? When we started this many, many, many years ago, most of us, a lot of us, we've had to kind of figure this out as we go along. And we've kind of put together sort of a quote-unquote rule book, but really the rule of this journey is, it is your journey. So it can be anything you want it to be, you know, and that's the beauty of this. So as we come into a place of really being able to listen to our heart, to our truth, to know what's going to bring us to our next level of growth, we deal those cards out every day. We make our decisions that take us down a certain path. And if you're in a place of truly being in a place of healing, of really finding yourself and knowing what makes you tick and following your heart and that guidance, you're never going to make a mistake, okay? As long as you're being true to yourself and true to your heart and doing things that really nourish your soul. So nourish your souls. Make this journey personal. Make it about you. Make it about the things that you want, you need, and you desire, but not from a place of lack, ever. Okay, I also just wanted to briefly talk about sort of the things that are going on energetically for us right now. I know I have still been in a place of just being really exhausted and sleeping a ton. The energies have been coming in very quickly and very intense, and then lightening up for a couple days, and then boom, coming in again very intense and hard, and then lightening up for a couple days. We are welcoming these opportunities of just getting a little bit of a break in the process of what we're going through. We're doing a lot of shadow work right now. Really, you know, for me personally, I've been, you know, experiences and thoughts about situations that have come up in my life like ages ago, through past relationships, with personal intimate relationships, with, you know, partners, as well as family relationships, you know, situations that have come up, and I'm like, why is that coming up? And then I start looking and digging a little deeper into that box and really seeing that I had, you know, my own wounds, my own shadow dark feelings, emotions, jealousy, you know, manipulation, control, things like that have been coming up, and I've been forced to reevaluate and look at these situations and these patterns that have come up and really see in my consciousness, in my awareness, how to break those patterns, how to change them. I now see things so much more clearly as to what wound was coming up for me that made me act or react in a certain way. So understanding that that's the process we're going through right now. But as we do this, it's very much, and I've used this analogy before, but I'm going to remind you guys of it. You know, we look at this as sort of like a video game, okay? And in video games, you increase in levels, the more successful you get, right? And you get extra points for things that you can use toward your strengths and your weapons and your this and your that. But every time you get to the next level, the game gets a little harder. The bosses or the bad guys in the game get a little harder to kill. They get a little stronger. You get stronger. The things you need to do are more difficult. So there's this balance of energy in the game. And that's kind of what's going on with our twin journey right now. There is this constant leveling up and then balancing in the game. And it allows us to be able to hold energy at a higher level. So every time we get a little stronger, we are open to a higher vibrational frequency than we were before. So part of this growth and this expansion that we're having is allowing us to hold the energy at a higher vibrational frequency. So what I've kind of, like, the best way to explain it is, it's like, let's say we're running electricity through, a 110 watt or amp like outlet. That outlet can only take 110 watts of electricity. It's kind of like our vessel. And that's where we were when we started this journey. Like, there was only so much energy we could run through our bodies. But what's happening now is, as we're expanding, we're being allowed to take on more energy. So it's kind of like our wattage is being amped up. So now we're like a 220 outlet, which again, it allows us to increase our energy. It allows us to hold on to more of the current that we are feeling without it tripping a circuit breaker. Okay, because that's what happens a lot of the time when we start to get off balance, or when we come together with our twin and the energy is so intense that then we immediately after that repel and go into this place of separation again. It's almost like when our energy is brought together, the electricity of that electromagnetic current of coming together, okay, the masculine carrying the electric current, the feminine carrying the magnetic current, those two currents repel each other because we don't have enough watts. Our outlets can't handle that much electricity until we are able to upgrade the power. The power, the source, the electrical outlets or the circuit breakers. And that's what we're doing every time we're growing and expanding here. So I hope that makes sense for you guys in explaining how we level up and then we have to kind of catch back up. And we have to strengthen our skills, and then we can get to the next level. And yes, things at the next level, we get more skills and more points, but things also get more difficult. And that's what happens on this journey. They become more challenging because we are stronger and we have better weapons and we are more capable. We have better tools to handle these situations. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the reading now. I used the Psychic Tour of the Heart by John Holland. I'm going to start with the underlying energy. And really, there's a ton in this reading, heart chakra, okay? We are truly in this place since the eclipse and coming into the next eclipse next week, which is a solar eclipse, of being in this very heart chakra place, feeling. So much feeling, guys. So much heart work. We are really kind of pulling at our own heartstrings, trying to open this box, trying to expand our heart space so we can increase our energetic vibration. And that's for the masculine and the feminine this week. I did ask for a card for the feminine, specifically energetically, and where they are at. And the underlying energy for the feminine is this reach out energy. This, again, this sitting and waiting, very, very patiently, looking a little somber, just kind of like wondering what the heck is going on with the masculine right now. A lot of the twins through this period of energy that's going on right now have felt very disconnected from their twin. But be thankful for that. That disconnect is sort of the break we've always been asking for, that we've been asking for. Like, things have been very, very intense. We feel the suffering and the pain and the anguish and the frustration and all of the things that the masculine are going through as they're healing, as well as what the feminine are going through. And, you know, a lot of us for the past few weeks were like, God, I just, you know, let him feel his own stuff, because I'm having enough time handling my own healing and my own feelings. It's really intense feeling my masculine's emotions and feelings also. And so this disconnect has kind of been a break for us to take the time to sit quietly. You know, I've been talking about this purposeful stillness. You know, she's just sitting quietly, patiently, and just being. And that's really important for us right now. While we're in this place of holding space and quote unquote waiting for our masculine to decide to reach out, because they want to reach out. Okay, they really want to reach out. They just don't, at this moment, don't know how to do it. Okay? And they are being guided. Okay? They are being guided as to how to take their next steps. And we have to trust that they are going to do their process and their journey exactly the way they need to, because divine timing is involved here. Okay, so those are the underlying energies. So I'm going to start with the masculine as always. And the first card we got for the masculine is the 5, Challenging Times. And the 3 cards for the masculine are really beautiful, because they are guarding their hearts right now. They are really, and the 5 is about change. They are feeling these changes that are coming into their heart space, and they are trying to protect themselves from it. Okay? They are feeling the challenge and the pressure of what it feels like to have those pains in their heart, that calling, that longing, that desire for something different, but they understand that there are a lot of things that have to change. And that's a lot for them to deal with. It's very challenging for the masculine right now. You know, they are becoming the masters of their hearts. Okay, and they are protecting that. They are very, you know, this guy is in a very defensive position. He is standing to protect himself, to shield himself. But what they know underneath is they need to master their heart. They need to uncage their heart and let their heart run free. Allow everything to come from their heart space. But the beauty of what's going on for the masculine is, this is the Tower card. This is the rebuild card. And again, she's got her hands on her heart. They are willing to go through these challenging times, okay? To really look deep within their hearts, to let it out of the cage, and to rebuild the breaks and the cracks and the wounds that they are carrying in their hearts. You know, this is the Tower card. This is about starting over and rebuilding. Everything must crumble in order for it to be rebuilt. And this is what's happening for the masculine, okay? They are crumbling. They are feeling their heart. They are embracing and recognizing the calling in their heart. And they are ready and working very calmly, very quietly in their own way at rebuilding. So that's really a beautiful energy, you guys. So the feminine, and here's what I started to talk about in the beginning. So the feminine got 2 separate cards for 2 different groups in our collective. The first card is the Trust card. Okay, and I feel like this is for the divine feminines that I talked about in the beginning, who are very much in their happy place, who are not waiting and in despair and loneliness and isolation, but are living and being happy and doing themselves and just doing their thing. And they are trusting completely openly, facing the masculine cards, that the masculine is doing their work and the feminine is just trusting and open to it all. Allowing, again, you know, the green. There's so much green and so much heart in this reading, you guys. Leading with their heart and feeling the love and just trusting. But now, you see, there is another part of the divine feminine collective that is in this period of sadness and isolation, that feel like they are missing out on something, that feel like their happiness is waiting for something. And these are the twins, the feminine twins, that got the move on card. Okay? If you are feeling stuck, blocked, held up, unhappy, in despair, no joy, go find your joy. Move on. Don't worry about waiting on your divine masculine at this point. Find your joy. Find your wholeness. In that, you will find what you're looking for. You know, maybe there is someone who needs to come into your life that you need to have another experience, a life lesson with. There's nothing wrong with that. Everything is learning and growth and experience. That's how we become better people. So take the opportunities that are being presented to you if you're in that place. Otherwise, stay where you're at and continue to have faith and trust, Divine Feminine. You know where you're at on your journey. You know how much healing you've really done. You know how authentic you are when you are out in the 3D world and able to express yourself and share yourself and talk to yourself and go through experiences and situations without reacting in our old ways. So you know how far you've grown and you know what you can trust at this point. So for those of you who are in your trusting space, stay there and keep working. Those of you who are in that dark, sad place, go find, move ahead, go find what you're looking for. Walk the beach. Find the treasure in the sand. Find the seashell that you're looking for. Live your life. Don't sit around just waiting on somebody. Okay, so the cards for the union. And this really, I mean, yes, it's union, but it's more about what's actually happening right now for both of the twins. And there is a great seeking of our truth right now, okay? This is, a gorgeous card because here she is pulling apart the curtain. Okay, looking behind the curtain to find her truth. This is what the Divine Feminine and Masculine are doing right now. We are opening the veil. We are opening the curtain, okay? And ready to look inside and find our complete truth. And that's where the healing begins. And what I love is, like, this is how these cards came out. You know, here the back of her opening the curtain. Here's the front of her looking through the curtain, you guys. You know, that's where the healing begins. It's allowing ourselves to look past, open that curtain and see all the higher guidance. Okay, that's what this light is. This is our higher guidance, you know, looking behind the veil, so to speak, and seeing. You know, look, we've got two heads in this card. This is the unity consciousness, really understanding things at a higher level. You know, seeking that deep truth that we know is there within us. And that's where our healing begins as we come through the other side of that curtain. Again, there's more heart healing happening here because we are being forced as we look through the curtain, through the darkness, to confront our shadows, to confront those places of our ego. Ego not being our arrogance, ego being the things that we have been put into place to protect us in the past that no longer serve our higher purpose, that interfere with us actually living in our heart space. This is the stuff confronting what's going on in our heads, our thoughts, those shadows that every once in a while, you know, the voices come and chatter and, you know what your heart is saying, that that things are good and nothing to worry about. And then you get this little voice that steps in and goes, you're crazy. What are you doing? And you go, no, I know in my heart what's true. That's confronting the shadows. Why is your ego taking you to that place? Where are you lacking fear? Where are you lacking, or where are you experiencing fear? Where are you lacking your faith? You know, confronting those dark patterns, because now is the time. You know, if we want to come into union with our twin, we need to make sure we're not going to make the same kinds of mistakes that we made in all the other go-rounds, not just with our twin, but with other relationships that we've had. This has brought us to a place of healing the broken parts. The way that we deal with relationships in the past didn't work because we were coming from a place of not seeing things on a bigger level. We only saw things through our own eyes. We couldn't experience things as a collective, as being a whole with each other and seeing things from all sides of the situation, as well as being able to take off our wounds, our injuries, to see things more clearly. Okay? So that's the place we're at, you guys. We are really in this place, and we are going to continue to be in this place. Since we started the eclipse season, and next week's another, the solar eclipse in the new moon, we're going to continue to be in this place of having things, really needing to confront things and really just being true to ourselves. And in that, just knowing that as long as you are living in your joy, in your happiness, in your heart space, you are not making any mistakes. So find your happiness, you guys, this week, okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all so much for subscribing. Please hit that button. Every time you hit that button, you add your energy to this group, to our tribe. So put in your love, put in your energy, you guys. Have a great week. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Gratitude and blessings always, beautiful souls. I love you, babe. Mwah. We'll talk soon. Love you guys. Bye.